All right, so we are in the value education, and today's lesson, the value will be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. Now, that's an interesting statement, actually. It has many different layers to it. Many different layers. One of the first ones is just being honest. Don't think one thing and say another. Don't say one thing and do something differently. In other words, being true to yourself and being honest means, and write this down, that your thoughts, your words, and your deeds all are in alignment. So what you're thinking, you say. What you're saying, you're doing. It's not thinking one thing and saying something different. I've seen how many, well, maybe you've seen this too. How many people go out and they're all nice and smiles, but behind someone's back, they're saying bad things against them. That's being dishonest. That's actually worse than that. It's being treacherous. That's what the Ashuras did. The Rakshasas. Those are demons. Demons are like that. I assume that none of you want to be like that. So, whatever you think, you say. Whatever you say, you do. Don't pretend. Don't pretend to be one thing on the outside and something different on the inside. Okay? That's being true to yourself. Another part of being true to yourself is knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. Being honest to yourself about your strengths and your weaknesses. Don't worry about areas that you're weak in or you're not as good in as others. That's life. That's going to happen. Okay? But be honest with yourself. First and foremost, don't delude yourself. So, if we know our strengths and weaknesses, then it's easier for us to focus on areas within our life that we want to be better at, isn't it? If we say, oh, I'm not that, or I'm not this, when way inside of ourselves we know that we may have some of these elements of weakness or frailty or even some dishonesty. Admit it, because that's the only way to challenge it, to strengthen it, get rid of it, is to see it first. Once you see it, then you can work with it. Very, very important. You have total power to live your life the way you want to be faithful and factual to the truth about yourself. This is very interesting. In the scriptures, Indian scriptures in particular, truth is an incredibly important element in life. Any of the devas, the deities, and so forth, they can, when they work with human beings, like in the Mahabharata or the Bhagavad Gita, they can forgive a lot. You know, they can forgive being messed up, doing something wrong, but what they will not forgive easily is a lie. Is a lie. Because lies are like cancer. They tend to populate more. You may think you're getting away with something, but one lie leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another, and then all of a sudden you can't remember which lie you told, and things get very confused. It is always best to be honest, even though at some point there may be some pain associated with that honesty. You may take a hit for it. You may be scolded, by your parents or teachers or whatever, but it'll be quick. It'll be fast. And they will admire you for telling the truth. Nobody likes somebody who lies, because a person who lies cannot be trusted. And if you can't be trusted, why would I want to work with you? Why would I want to be your friend? Because I could never know if you're telling me the truth or just another lie. So the moral of this story is always tell the truth, even though you may suffer a little bit initially. It'll be over quickly. Learn from your mistake. Lying is trying to hiding something behind a wall of falseness, behind a wall of dishonesty. That wall is the poison. That dishonesty is the poison. So if we learn from our mistakes, then we don't have to worry about lying. We just tell the truth because that's what it is. We get into trouble when our actions don't match our thinking, or our words don't match our actions. There's where we get more confused. There's where we get in trouble. This is a very important lesson. Very important. Whether it's with your friends, your parents, your teachers, it doesn't matter who. Be truthful. Be honest. First with yourself, and then with others. Being true to yourself means you don't worry about pleasing others. You live your life, your natural self, by looking into your heart and feeling what is right without compromise. You have a set of values that builds upon your character, your integrity. Don't compromise those for whatever reason, not for money or fame or anything, because your values, your character are your bedrock. They're the foundation of your life. To pretend something isn't what it is just to impress someone else or to get in with the in crowd, to act a way that you normally don't act, destroys the foundation of your life. It becomes unsteady. And being unsteady in life leads to disaster. Now, the other element here. Someone once, said to me, well, I told this person their clothes were shabby. They didn't look good. And indeed, they didn't. They were, but this person didn't have the money to get nicer clothes. The person was telling the truth, but in telling the truth that way, this other person was harmed. They felt bad. They were embarrassed. Okay? My guru told me once, he said, tell the truth that which is sweet. Tell the truth that which is sweet. Don't lie, but don't tell the brutal truth. Being brutally honest. That's just cruel. That's just cruel. If you can't say something nice, even though it's the truth, keep your mouth shut. Another lesson I was given. You never have to apologize for something you do not say. You never have to apologize for something you do not say. So maybe somebody has shabby clothes. Is it up to you to inform them? They probably already know. So we're just being mean to be mean, to push ourselves up so we can push them down. That's no way to live. Help them. Just talk about things that they are good at or good with. Don't point out someone else's shortcomings unless you are requested. Or unless it's your job, let's say a teacher, that you're not strong in this subject here. It's a teacher's responsibility to help you to become stronger by helping you maybe after hours or on the lunch break or something. But never tell somebody that they're weak at something without offering a solution, without helping to develop a solution. That, again, is not helpful. So if you have a problem in one hand, be advised, have at least one solution in this hand. Never bring people problems for which you have not thought through. At least one, better two, potential solutions. This is a person who is solution-oriented, not problem-oriented. They're looking for ways of fixing things, not simply pointing out something's broken. So, when you are like this, people can trust you because they know that your word is your bond. When you say something, they know it's the truth because you don't lie. You would be surprised how much respect that you get just simply by telling the truth. Not elaborating it, making it flowery, just saying things as they are. That builds trust in others. Okay? That builds trust in others, that you can be trusted. That what you say you will do, or what you say is what you're thinking. It is unfortunate in today's world, and I've seen this even in my own family, that it's interesting. Let's say a family member gets around others outside the family. I can hear a tonal voice change, a softer change. You know, a change is lighter, more accommodating. But let's say when I'm with the individual, they're a little harsher, a little harder. And I know they're not even knowing that this is happening. They've done it for so long. It just seems it's like a natural part. But the first thing that we have to be aware of is how are we behaving in different circumstances? Are we behaving one way with this group of people and something very different with a different group? Because we have to have their respect, or we have to work with them so we're all light and sunshine and smiles. But when we're not with that group, we're kind of gruff and grumpy and hard-nosed. And you see, people get confused. They don't know who the real you is. They don't know who the real you is. Like with the real person, please stand up. One thing that I've worked at this. This is conscious effort. I am the same way no matter who I'm with. In other words, what you see is what you get. No hidden agendas. No multiple things going on behind the scenes. That's it. If I say something, you can believe that I believe it. I may be wrong, but in my heart, I believe it. That's okay. Even if you're wrong, it doesn't matter. But let your heart and your mind and your actions be in alignment always. Not pretend to be one thing here and another way over here. Because people will notice it. People that know you will notice it. And it's not necessarily that they think ill of you, but there will always be an element of a little lack of trust, a lack of being genuine. You see what I mean? You know, be yourself, be genuine. Be what you are. It's okay. You're great. You don't have to pretend to be something else to impress someone. Let them see you for what you really are. Let them hear you for what you really think and believe. And if they don't like it, tough. You're not in this life to please them. You're in this life to be truthful and honest, to know yourself, and to be your real self. Not some facade, not some actor on different stages. It's bad enough that, we are given names and clothing and we're told we're this and we're that, when in the final analysis, we're not. I have another little story. It's a little bit deeper. My guru was at my house one day. He used to come over from South Africa. He came from the Gujarat. And he was my guide. He kept me on the straight and narrow. And one day he was taking a nap, and I was just getting off of work. I was a director of a IT organization, and it's just a job. It's words and names don't mean anything. It's what can you do is what's important. Anyway, I'm going to go change out of my suit and get into some sweats, maybe do a little exercising or whatever. And he comes over to me and he grabs me, by the lapels of my coat. And he called me Sujay. He gave me that name. It means victor or hail, goodness. It's not that I was, it's something that I could live up to. And it was a reminder of potential, okay? Anyway, he grabs my lapels and he said, Sujay, be yourself. Be your true self. And I was kind of shaken. And what he was trying to say is, don't be this personality that constantly changes. Don't think you're this body that's changing. Don't think you're this mind or your thoughts, because those are always changing. That's not the real you. The real you is that which is looking through your eyes, hearing through your ears, allowing you to perceive the world around you. We call it many names. We call it consciousness, we call it awareness, we call it Brahman, we call it many things. But it is that which allows us to perceive. It is perception itself. Perception is your ability to have self-awareness, to be able to see and perceive things around you. That is silent. It doesn't have any agenda. It doesn't change. It never dies. It's eternal and immortal. It's within and are. All of us and all things that exist. That we must get in touch with more within ourselves. These little techniques of meditation, all they do is allow us to quiet down. When we quiet down, when the thoughts within the mind, the sensations in the body subside, what's left? That which perceives, that which is aware. It's neither thinking nor doing. It just is. That's what's left. And the more that we can get in touch with that, the more of that energy that animates all of creation becomes available for us to use in our life. It's not just fancy philosophy. No, it's real. It's real. I know it's real. From personal experience, I know it's real. So all of us have that potential. That's the ultimate. Be true to yourself. That's the ultimate truth of your existence, your being, is that. And we can help with that process of realization by cooperating with it, by telling the truth, by being honest with ourselves and with others. Because reality can't lie. It just is. Things are as they are. Whether they're good or bad, hot or cold, it doesn't matter. They are. So, first of all, be true to yourself. Then be true with others. And little by little, that expands. And that truth is joyful. That truth is that ultimate peace and happiness that all of us are looking for in life. And unfortunately, we're looking for it in all the wrong places. If we're trying to find true happiness outside or with another person, we won't find it. Because people change, situations change, the body changes. All this change is constantly going on. That which does not change is the source of happiness. Its essence is happiness. If you want to be happy in life, live a full life on the outside, but at the same time, go within. Go within. Get in contact with that quiet space within you, which is the essence of all the energy in creation. And bring more of that into your life. Then happiness expands from you to the world around you, to your friends, your family, your country. These are things that India has been the custodian of for almost 15,000 years. But it is unfortunate that it's been lost. It's been lost. It's time to reawaken that knowledge. It's time to reawaken that realization, that experience within each of us. Because there and only there will you ever find lasting happiness. You could put that one in the bank. It is the absolute truth. Okay? So I hope that gives you somewhat of an outline of what be true to yourself means at different levels. You know, the outside level, the world of people and things and situations, and that inner level, that spiritual level, that energetic level which animates you and everything else that you can realize for yourself. And that happiness never leaves. Once you realize it, no matter what happens to the body, mind, situations outside, you can't touch it. It can't be touched because it's not a thing. It's not time-bound, not space-bound, not conditional. I know it's a little difficult to kind of wrap your head around. But even though these words are words, they point to a far deeper meaning. They point to something that will give you that joy, that happiness that all of us are looking for. But people like me and others can point the direction. But you must walk the road. You must walk the path. If you listen, take advantage of this information, then you ultimately will benefit from it. Or you can just ignore it and let the wheel of life grind you up like it has all of us for how many lifetimes. At some point, we just get tired of being ground up on the wheel of life. At some time, we say, enough is enough. I want to go home. And that is our true home. When that impulse hits you, God or the universe or whatever will bring things to you automatically. Automatically. Okay. Amen.